Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Taco Bites, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 704. Coming to you live from somewhere, nowhere. Think I'm in New Jersey? Man, it is with a sad heart and an excited future. I am moving on from New York all the way down to Dallas, and so the way the lay of the land happened today. It was supposed to be an earlier move, um, but the universe just had different plans. And so it is now, like always, midnight, and I am driving, having packed up and finally got out of New York about 30 minutes ago or so. Um, man, even with the entire apartment packed up, I would say it was close to uh, 40, 40 to 45 trips total up and down 3 flights of stairs. So carrying things every time, I counted this out way too many times. 54 steps going up, 54 steps going down. Um, and, if you count the step to the apartment door, then, that makes it 109 steps total round trip. So, and that's not even counting from the bottom of the stairs out to the street and to the car. But that was a lot of work. But that's okay. We have some big grind stuff to do tonight. We're going to be on the road for a little bit. Then we're going to call it a night and find a nice little hotel for the night. We got some exploratory stuff to do. One of the really cool things that we have going on over at Manifest Network is we've been building out some really awesome partnerships. And so I get to do one of the favorite things I get to do is some on-chain analytics to sort of see what token we want, out of a certain project based on, they have their governance token and they have their utility token. And so it's just sort of really cool to be able to do this. And so this is a positive move. This is one of those moves where, have not spent a lot of time in New York over the last 2 years because we're out traveling the world, going to blockchain conference to blockchain conference. So thought better to find a smaller place, or not even, it's a bigger place for a lot cheaper rent, but at the same time, you know, safe and easy to travel from. So very central, great location. I got like 4 international airports all around me within easy jaunts. And the icing on the cake, I do not have to leave my car 3 states away at a train station anymore when I'm in the city. Cheaper in a house. So I'm like adulting. Don't tell anyone. This is don't. This is our little secret at midnight that we tell people as we degen after dark. But we have some really fun stuff coming up. We just finished up the Opal Group Family Office and Wealth Management Conference up in Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island. Got to see some of the amazing people that I get to see around the world. Huge shout out to Michael Turpin and Joyce Chow, as well as all the other individuals. Got to meet some really cool people over at Pantera Capital. So got to solidify that relationship a little bit, as well as it was interesting how much I got to talk to people and how thirsty family offices were to know, as they label them, alternative investments, and so got to answer a lot of questions and just sort of start people on some certain paths. And so it was really interesting to see. We covered it before. One of the main other sponsors that had a booth there was Casa, sort of a asset and wealth management infrastructure company, teaching people about cold storage and how they work everything through a Gnosis safe. So really excited to sort of see how that goes. And I really like seeing how that expands out. What we have coming up, oh my gosh, I had so much FOMO over Bitcoin Nashville. I hope everyone had a blast. You know, it does sound like, you know, a lot of promises were made from a lot of politicians, and they, you know, but what's really cool is that all three candidates are talking about it. You know, Bobby Kennedy is talking about it. Donald Trump is talking about it. And Biden was talking about it, but now Kamala Harris is even talking about it. So it's really interesting to see how much pandering is going on as they've started to realize that how active of a community the blockchain community is. And so really excited to sort of see what's in the future. And, you know, I'm just bullish. I'm bullish on builders. One of the really cool chains that I've seen some really cool new projects starting to come out is Sui. We haven't done a deep dive on Sui yet, but we should. I've done some cool stuff with the team over at Sway, which is a play-to-earn game in Telegram that's built on Sui, gives people their own self-custodial wallet within Telegram. And it's just simple little arcade game stuff. So it's really fun, and I like the. I'm a personal fan favorite of the like micro games. You know, the 2 to 5 minute games, because like sometimes that's like, and I'll play those games for like an hour straight, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, but I also feel like I don't have that commitment to where I have to get tied in. Now, there's a lot of new games that are coming in, and all those different aspects are on blockchain. Now, there's some newer, bigger games coming on into the scene, and really excited to sort of see how they're going to do. But outside of Parallel and like BR1, I haven't seen really too many games where like every aspect of some kind is on blockchain. Splinter Cell, obviously, and Honeyland is another one. But those, you know, are both grinders in one way or another, and Shrapnel as well, on Avalanche. Seen some really cool stuff there. I do have to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite cake eaters, the one and only Doug Hype. He sent me an NFT to be able to play out Cornucopias. So I have to get in there and do that one of these days once I get settled. That is on the top of my to-dos. But I'm just sort of excited. But one of the things that we've all sort of, everyone said, we don't need any more dev tools. We don't need any more APIs. We need apps. We need things that drive usage. And so you might be thinking that it's too clunky. No one's going to like it. Well, the only thing that's going to get you to start getting the feedback on what to make it do less clunky is if people are actually out there using it, not you. So publish, push out, and take a bold risk. And then let me know, because I want to try it out. I love supporting builders in every way, shape, and form. And I apologize, I have a lot of ums tonight because I'm concentrating on the camera and concentrating on the road at the same time, so I apologize on that. But there we go again. After one of those, we got some really cool conferences coming up that we may or may not get to in some way, shape, or form. But there is the Beeple Art Fest coming up. We have VCon coming up. We have ETH Toronto and Futurist, and you guessed it, Toronto. And then we have Rare Evo in Vegas in the middle of the month. And that is the one we're looking forward to. We might set aside, I think there's a $250 buy-in for the Crypto Classic. And I think we're going to go try to be some exit liquidity for a bunch of people, because it's all going for a good cause. I think other people's pockets, but I think we're going to go do that to have some fun, and see how long we can bleed out for. And maybe if we can do some like wild knockouts, I don't know. Maybe we just bet it all on the first hand. Just go deep. I think that's what we might do. We won't even look at the cards, you know. So we're gonna have fun. But I just want to give a huge shout out to the Rare Evo team. If you want to know some more information on Rare Evo, let me know. I would love to make sure you get an invite. Come get a ticket. Come hang out at Caesar's Palace for a few days, and have a blast. That is going to be one of the really cool things that I'm super excited to see. And what more than doing, permissionless, trustless things with the friends and people you've met along the way in Web3 IRL. So we have a long road ahead of us. We have 1,524 miles to go. 22 hours and 25 minutes. We're going to probably be stopping, in the next hour, because the big thing about pulling a huge trailer like I'm doing is it is eating through my gas mileage like no other. And that was one thing that I was aware of that was going to be happening. So do not think I was not prepared for this. But there's two different things. When you know it's going to happen and then actually seeing it happen, yes. But there's the markets are slowly starting to warm up. We've seen some good inflows and normal outflows within both the BTC ETF and the ETH ETF, which, is pretty awesome. One of the really cool things I got to do yesterday was a family. I got to have two family gatherings yesterday. The second one was a more positive event, but got to talk with random, family members and stuff like that, or friends of people and stuff like that. But there was an older couple that one of the gentlemen had a shirt from Anchorage, Alaska. And one of the main things I have in my moral compass is, because I'm from Alaska, I have to go find out why anyone is wearing an Anchorage, Alaska shirt or an Alaska shirt if I see them out in the wild. And I did. Got to have an amazing conversation with them about their daughter that's based out in Elmendorf and what she's doing out there. But then they were like, so what do you do? And I was like, funny you should ask. I work in the cryptos and, a whole bunch of other things. But then they're like, oh, we're actually really interested in that. We know it's sort of changed, but just don't really get it. What can you tell me? And so me and another family friend person who actually used to work for BlockFi just found out, sort of sat and talked to him about just the simplicity of Bitcoin. We didn't go into any of the details of any of the other chains or anything like that, but other than the idea of an open ledger, permissionless financial and also data and censorship resistant stuff. And so we sort of gave them like the outline, and they're like, thanks for letting me know all of this. And then they're like, we have an account with like Fidelity. Is this something we can get into with Fidelity? And I was like, with Fidelity, yes, you can. If you did not know, Fidelity does have both access to the ETFs, the futures, and direct access to crypto in Fidelity Invest blockchain services. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And that just goes to show that we're still early, because how many times has it been when you've been talking to someone at a family party or something like that, and the elder generation comes to you and they're like, how's your IRA set up? And what does your family estate planning look like? And now you're like, oh, what are yours? What do you have in your portfolio? Oh, you crypto. You don't have crypto? Well, let me tell you about this ETH ETF. And everyone sort of complains about it that, it's not them holding real ETH. Yes, true. But as of right now, the way the regulation is, that ETH has to actually be held by someone, is in a direct line, a chain of command for that. And so um, you give them enough exposure, they'll learn enough about it, and maybe they're like, well, maybe I just might want to go get my own. That is the best tried and true system. Try it before you buy it. So that is my words of advice. Onboard someone new today. We have an entire amazing week ahead of us. So, okay, I'll give you an easy challenge. Onboard 2 people this week. One of them onto Coinbase, and one of them, into, getting like a MetaMask or a Phantom or a Soulflare wallet. Go simple. And, if you have a shitcoin in your wallet, send it to them so that they have their first piece, or an NFT, you know, um, get them, onboard them, but just don't leave them hanging. That's the worst thing you can do sometimes. Tell them all this amazing stuff, but then you don't make yourself available to answer their questions. Do that. Be kind. That is it for tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Like I said, it was a quick bite tonight. We are on the road. It is pitch black. It is past midnight, and we got some open highway ahead of us. We gotta get on the road. So I want to thank everyone for joining us on episode number 704. I want to shout out to everyone on LinkedIn, Player One Taco YouTube, Degens YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Twitter video, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Unlonely and on Base, and then on-chain via Soul Media Tech on Solana. Just want to shout out to everyone. Have a good night. Happy Sunday. And we will see you as we burn out the start of this next week. But in the meantime, we end this episode as we end every single episode with our words of wisdom and the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. And that is our words of wisdom. A closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, you're going to keep on walking. With that, we wish everyone a great night, great morning, GM, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, knock, knock. Who's there?